links in the description. If you do like this video, if you like this type of topic, then do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the video as you see fit. Have a look at some of the other videos on the channel, see if this is your kind of place. If not, fair enough, no worries. I will read through the entire article, but before I do, for those that can't really be bothered to listen to a 5-minute video, I'll just tell you what it's about. Essentially, some guy in New Zealand decided it would be a really clever idea to get 10 COVID-19 vaccines in a single day. So he basically went around seemingly from I don't know, doctor to doctor, getting various injections for various vaccines on behalf of other people. So if we understand correctly, he was paid to do this by people that didn't want to have the vaccine, but we're happy to pay some other guy to take it for them. So that's basically what this is about. The authorities concerned are very upset. They're arguing that it's a danger, not so much to the guy that went around accepting 10 vaccines in one day, but more so to those people that said that they have the vaccine that don't have the vaccine. So it's a danger for that reason, and the authorities are very angry. We'll read through it again in a second. My take on it is, well, I mean, I see their point. I mean, if you've got the viewpoint that the vaccines are extremely important and all of this, then sure, I get that. Thing is, not everyone agrees with that viewpoint. I mean, I'm not going to spell out what my feelings are because I don't want to be blocked from YouTube. So at this point, let's read through the whole article. Unbelievably selfish, a man takes 10 COVID vaccine shots in a single day. A man who was vaccinated against COVID-19 up to 10 times in one day on behalf of other people has been called unbelievably selfish and has sparked an investigation. Astrid Knief, the group manager of operations for the COVID-19 vaccine and immunisation program in New Zealand, said the country's Minister of Health was aware of the issue and taking the matter very seriously. Here's a quote: "We are very concerned about this situation and are working with the appropriate agencies," said Astrid Knief, the head of the COVID vaccine program in New Zealand. She goes on to say, "We are very concerned about this situation and working with the appropriate agencies." Vaccinologist and Associate Professor Helen Petousis-Harris called the behaviour unbelievably selfish and taking advantage of somebody who needs some money. So she's blaming those people that paid this guy to have the vaccines. It could cause serious harm from the people who are not vaccinated, saying they are vaccinated and spreading the virus. Professor Petousis-Harris said the man who took multiple doses of the COVID-19 vaccine is unlikely to come to any serious harm, but likely to feel like crap the next day from a general immune response. Here's another quote from this Professor Petousis-Harris character. "We know that people have in error been given the whole 5 doses in a vial instead of it being diluted. We know that that has happened overseas, and we know with other vaccine errors, we know that other vaccine errors have occurred and there has been no long-term problems." So I'm just going to be a bit of a smart ass and throw a comment in there. How can anyone know that there's no long-term problems when the vaccines have been administered for less than a year? I mean, what definition are these guys working on? How can less than a year be considered long-term? Certainly in regards to a medical capacity, or in regards to vaccines. Long term, I would have thought would mean 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and so on. Not several months. That seems to be a fallacious statement, in my opinion. But what do I know? I could be entirely wrong. Let's go back to the article. Professor Petousis-Harris said receiving multiple doses of the COVID-19 vaccine is not ideal, saying when people get given higher doses, they get more fever, pains, and headaches, which just shows that it's working. It is believed that the man who is understood to have visited several vaccination centres was paid for the jabs. Miss Cunniff, the head of the immunisation programme in New Zealand, said people who have had more vaccine doses than recommended should seek clinical advice. Why? Why is that? What's wrong with having more vaccine than recommended? To assume another person's identity and receive a medical treatment is dangerous. This puts at risk the person who receives the vaccination under an assumed identity and the person whose health record will show they have been vaccinated when they have not. Having an accurate vaccination status not only puts you at risk, having an inaccurate vaccination status not only puts you at risk, it puts your friends and community at risk, as well as the healthcare teams that treat you now and in the future. That's pretty much all we need to go through. So, in summary, some guy got paid to receive 10 shots in the same day. The medical response, or the healthcare industry's response, seems to be a little bit mixed. They seem to be saying, it's no problem, or actually it might be a problem, it could be dangerous for you. Who knows? It seems a little bit vague. They're more concerned about those people that will potentially have the capacity to say that they have been vaccinated in their vaccine passports and whatnot, when the case is the complete opposite. And that's their main concern. My take on it is it's not that important. It's only one person that's done this. It's only 10 people perhaps that will have committed a defraud in regards to the vaccination. It's not something which overly concerns me. I'm personally more interested in if we find out what the reaction to this guy is. If he will have severe adverse effects. That's what's of interest to me. Don't know if he will. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. The doctors seem to be, or the healthcare guys seem to be of a bit of two minds. They seem to think that he'll be fine, but he just might have a bit of a bad day or two. But I would like to know. I'd like to find out. I hope this guy's reaction does get publicized. I'd be very keen to hear that.